Des Moines, Iowa, taking center stage tonight for the 5th GOP presidential debate. And once again, the front runner will be a no-show. With just 5 days to go before the Iowa caucuses kick off the voting for 2024, just 2 candidates will take the stage at Drake University tonight: Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley. The other Republican candidates did not make the cut for tonight's debate. So what should we all be watching for tonight? Joining us live to discuss is former State Attorney General Rob McKenna, also a King 5 political analyst. Happy New Year. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks. Happy New Year.
Thank you. This is the 5th GOP presidential debate, the first head-to-head matchup, though. What are you going to be watching for tonight?
Well, we want to see if DeSantis and Haley gang up on Trump, who won't be there once again, in order to knock his numbers down some more, or if they spend most of their time and energy attacking each other. I'm betting it's more of the latter, because Haley is ahead of DeSantis in New Hampshire, is closing on Trump to within single digits. DeSantis has put all of his chips in the Iowa basket. He wants to make sure he comes in second place there, even though Iowa caucuses aren't a good predictor of how candidates do in New Hampshire. So they're both still kind of jockeying for second place, but with an eye towards generating momentum for themselves going into New Hampshire.
Let's talk about that. Are they really jockeying for second place? Is no one going to go on the attack and try to rise on the ticket and maybe be the nominee?
Oh, no, I think they don't. They want to be the nominee. Don't get me wrong. At this point, though, they have to get into second place. You can't beat the nominee from third place. And they're really trying to winnow the field, right? So, if DeSantis doesn't have a strong showing in Iowa, as in coming in second place, but strongly, then he's really going to have problems in New Hampshire. I think Nikki Haley can afford to lose in Iowa more than he can, and that's because she's doing so well in New Hampshire. And remember, one of the next primaries to occur is in South Carolina, her state. So I think that really DeSantis has more on the line here than Nikki does.
So, as you know, DeSantis has accused Nikki Haley of flip-flopping on issues. She's accused him of misrepresenting her record. And then we learned today that Chris Christie is out of the race. Who do you think is going to get the most traction tonight, knowing that the race is narrowing?
Well, Chris Christie dropping out should be good news for Nikki Haley. I think that her campaign is betting that the majority of his support will move to her. He didn't have a ton of support, but in a close race, it could be enough to make a difference. So, I think that she's probably benefiting much more than DeSantis is from Chris Christie getting out. I think, looking at it from his point of view, Chris Christie and Nikki Haley were dividing the anybody but Trump or DeSantis vote. So it's not great news for him that former Governor Christie is out. So I think in tonight's debate, they'll go after each other. I think that DeSantis will attack her, trying to drive her numbers down, hurt her with Trump voters. But she's got her own ammunition to use. DeSantis has not run the strongest campaign we've seen. And she knows that if he doesn't have a good performance in Iowa, he's certainly not going to make up for that in New Hampshire.
As you know, so much is at stake in this election. As a Republican, Rob, what do you think voters should be focusing on as they choose a nominee?
Well, they ought to be focusing on who has the best chance to beat the incumbent, President Biden. Governor Haley is ahead of President Biden by something like 16 points nationally. She's in a much stronger position to beat him than former President Trump is. Former President Trump supporters don't like to hear that. They'll point to the fact that in a few polls, he's a little bit ahead of Biden, but it's all within margin of error. The Republicans are taking a big chance at losing an opportunity to win back the White House if they nominate Trump instead of Haley. All the polling is very clear on that. And actually, DeSantis could probably make that argument as well. I think he's probably doing better against Biden than Trump is also, in part because he's had a strong record in Florida that, as far as conservative voters are concerned. So, the Republicans really ought to be focusing on what is the best move to win.
Rob
DeSantis
McKenna
and Haley are rock Republican conservatives. So.
Sorry, we lost you just for a moment there. I just want to say thank you so much. Great perspective. The next state, of course, to cast GOP votes is New Hampshire. We're going to see if the needle moves at all between tonight and then that debate, the next one, scheduled for New Hampshire's January 23rd. Again, we appreciate your time. We'll talk with you again soon.
Thank you. Take care.